Awesome. Welcome back, everyone, to timeandspace.us. My name is Mike Smith, and this is the Time and Space Radio Show. You can find us at timeandspace.us. Check us out on Facebook, Listener 22, and check us out on YouTube. You can find all of our episodes there under UFO Writer 22. I'm back sitting here in the shed with Executive Chef Mike Fay. Mr. Fay and I are going to monitor as we play a special variation of That's a Fine Piece of Driving. Mr. Tim Kirk, are you still on the line, sir?
I'm with you, gentlemen. How are you?
Mr. Kirk is standing up. Go ahead.
We have no traffic whatsoever right now. It's relatively calm, but we pretty much have really thin sporadic traffic.
Well, we've certainly waited long enough to actually play the game, so this is going to be a pretty bad edition of this game, as insofar as anybody who's getting busted is getting busted at like 12:30 at night.
I will let you know that it's about 10 till right now.
Yeah.
And the bars in Mount Airy close at midnight.
Ah, so there might be a little pickup, is what you're saying.
I would say probably not for another 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This might be a good time.
You could get some people leaving early now, but
Excellent.
I'm just saying that this is your lull.
All right, so
I hear something.
We do have a big rig rolling through. Looks like he's doing okay.
Yeah,
he's hitting the brakes, though. You can hear him.
Yeah, I could see him hitting the brakes as he went by up there. I could see just over the top of the hill. Excellent.
It's the truckers that haven't been through before that get hit.
I suppose.
Anyone that drives here knows right when to hit the brakes, and then you accelerate again. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, right?
It's
if you know the camera's there, right? Right. All right, excellent. So the show is timeandspace.us. The game is That's a Fine Piece of Driving. Mr. Kirk, are you ready with your timer?
I have actually started the timer. We're at 1 minute 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Right
We're
now,
already underway. Excellent. We're already underway. Okay, so we're going to get into a couple of other things and move along with the show. I need you to just interject if that flash does go off. We need to know that you have posted a goal. If you could give us a description of the car that gets busted, we'd greatly appreciate that. So
I would like to just throw out there real quick that I do think you should get extra points if you actually get flashed.
Okay.
Because I have been out front of my house before and seen motorcyclists go by, and the female on the motorcycle in the back will show me the goods.
Stop it.
Yeah,
it's happened 3 or 4 times.
Keep in mind, gentlemen, we are recording video-wise, so
that's true.
I'm just saying.
Any dispute that may take place.
I'm just letting you know that I think that should be
so.
Extra points because of the rarity of it.
Now, Kirk, are you the first player? You're the one that's being scored right now?
Actually, we flipped a coin to decide and gave one, and so he elected to take the first opportunity.
I see. All right, so it's Gabe that's being scored right now. We're in probably about the 3rd minute then, right?
That would be about correct. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So let's get back to some of the other stuff we wanted to cover on the show. So we have a game in progress right now. That's a fine piece of driving. So while the clock continues to tick, Mr. Fay, let's get back to our discussion of Mumbai here briefly. And this was my second trip, so all told, I spent 7, maybe 8 weeks in Mumbai. Beautiful city, amazing people. I got on my Kindle a book by a gentleman named Stephen Knapp, and Knapp's book, Avatars, Gods, and Goddesses of Vedic Culture, Understanding the Characteristics, Powers, and Positions of the Hindu Divinities. I have to say, definitely written for a religious crowd. It sort of had that feel to it as I worked my way through it, but I was really interested in a lot of the information that was in there. Not nearly as interested, however, once I started trying to reach out and have some discussions with some of the guys, the people that worked at the hotel where I was staying. Wonderful Sofitel. If you ever have the opportunity to stay at the Sofitel in Mumbai, my goodness, please, by all means, try to do that. There was a gentleman there, and I started to ask him a little bit about the gods and goddesses and all that type of stuff, just to bring the information up. And what was interesting to me was that I tried to say to him, hey, there was this UFO sighting here recently in India that had hit the news, mainstream news, if you could call it that over there. And I just wanted to ask him about it, just for the fun of it, just to see, did you know anything about it? Did anybody say anything? Do you not know what I'm talking about? I got a very strange reaction out of the guy. The Hindu texts and the Hindu gods, of course, everybody, I think, in the West anyway, sees it as being associated with UFOs and all these different things that you see on the History Channel and stuff. But when I asked him the UFO question and tried to use the Western terminology about a UFO, an unidentified flying object, he starts answering me in religious terms, like it's nothing. Just, yes, well, the gods, they've come down to Earth and they occasionally probably make appearances and do all this stuff. And I'm trying to use Western terminology and be like, yeah, there was a UFO sighting. There was like this flying saucer that took off and all these people saw it and it was on the news. He's like, yeah, the gods, they come back and they make appearances and they sometimes come and talk to people. I get it.
It doesn't work. It's like trying to discuss baseball in football terms. I mean, there's just certain terminologies that don't cross that barrier. There's no difference to them between
that's
an alien and a god.
That's the thing.
It's an intelligent power that's coming down from the sky. Now for us, we're a monotheistic culture.
Yes.
We can't. It's not God, so it has to be an alien, right?
Yeah, or Satan.
It's either a demon or it's right.
Demon. Yeah, right.
And I do know. I know religious people that are Christian people
that
believe that UFOs are demons.
There you go.
They're demons. They're like they. I'm like, well, maybe they're from other worlds, and they're like, well, they could be from other worlds, but they're demons because if they don't have a soul, they're a demon.
We get into that whole thing.
I mean, what are we really talking about? Are they wrong? Am I wrong? Are
we
both right? Are we both wrong? Probably a little bit of all four of those things.
So then the same guy, I touched on this a little bit earlier in sort of the pre-show discussion that we were having. The same guy, by the way, I thought this was really interesting. He was very nice, but he wanted to get into some political talk, and it was interesting to me to be approached by someone outside the U.S., especially when he was being so assertive about it, wanted to refer to the U.S. as conquerors. Couldn't stand...
As what?
Conquerors.
Oh.
Imperialists. We are out spreading our wings and trying to create a large empire around the world because we want all of Afghanistan's oil.
They don't really have a lot of oil.
They don't have any oil in Afghanistan. That's what I was just going to say.
Now, I believe that India's population is 6 times the size of ours. 5?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, it's friggin' huge, dude.
Oh, I mean, I know it's... Is it really that many times larger than the U.S. population?
Indonesia is 2.5 times the size of us.
Yeah, that's...
And India is way bigger than Indonesia.
India is way bigger than Indonesia, yeah.
Let's just say it's 4 times the size of us.
Okay.
The last census, I believe, here said we were at about 370 million.
Yep.
I believe they're over 1 billion.
India?
Yeah.
Man.
I mean,
I don't know if I knew that.
I want to say, and I could be wrong because, I mean, the numbers change so fast now, but at one point we were at almost 7 billion people in the world, and I believe that 3 billion of them were in India or China.
Jeez.
So they literally, between those two cultures, have, let's just say, 30 to 35% of the population of the world. I would be interested if anyone wanted to call in and say, here are the up-to-date numbers, if someone wanted to look it up.
Hey, Faye, if someone wanted to call the show...
They could call the show. We do have a new phone number.
What phone number would they call? Oh, Faye's searching for his paper.
Faye has failed.
Faye, what's the fail?
Of course, they wanted to call 757-544-9000.
And Tim, if I was calling from another country, say India, would I have to add any numbers to that?
I think it would be a +1 in front.
I'd have to add a +1 in front of.
What if
the 757-544-9000 or after?
It would be before.
It would be before.
It would be before.
And if you wanted to contact us on Skype, what would our Skype username be? Time and Space US is the username. On
Excellent.
Skype, yes. 757-544-9000.
Now, that might be how many people are in India.
Wow.
There's a lot of people.
I suppose
there's a lot of people.
I suppose
there.
that's possible.
So if there's that many people there, I mean, I don't really remember conquering them. And I don't remember Hollywood stealing movies from Bollywood. I just don't. I don't. And as someone that is part of a conqueror culture, shouldn't I be getting something from that? Well, like, where's mine? Like,
how about this?
When the English were ruling the world, weren't they all pretty well off because they were stealing stuff from everybody?
I'd like to know which embassies or consulates in the United States are overcrowded by other people trying to get visas to go to that country.
Maybe we're being confused with the English. which we are in a lot of places in the world. No,
Nice.
we are. We are considered one and the same in a lot of countries. We are Westerners. We are the English. We are the Americans. We are conquerors. I don't feel like
I don't know, man. I just I don't feel like a conqueror.
Let's just review. Okay, we won the Spanish-American War, and all we got was Puerto Rico. Got the Philippines too, actually, but I mean, we didn't keep like Mexico.
True.
We fought a war against.
We didn't keep Mexico.
We fought a war against Germany in World War I, and I don't remember us getting any part of Germany.
Oh, that's not true. Well, not.
We did not in World War I. We got repatriations, which is basically they just printed a whole ton of money.
And they confuse us with the Allies. So, I mean, if the Allies got part of Berlin, for example, that's the U.S. being imperialist.
Okay, but then we defeated Japan, and what did we keep?
Man, we got way off topic.
No, I don't feel like we did. I guess we did. I really want to know what we've kept.
No,
Because
that's
we
yes.
took over Iraq in a war, and we haven't kept dime one.
We left.
in oil.
We left.
We didn't even keep enough oil to reimburse ourselves. I mean, I work in a restaurant. I go to the store. I buy food because maybe we're like out of like I don't know parsley. When I come back, I reimburse myself for going and getting the parsley.
Oh, is that how that works?
Anyway, I guess we're off topic. But anyway,
it's all good.
The guy at the hotel.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had sort of moved past him. It was just he was really. It was interesting how assertive the guy was. That's all. He wanted to jump us. We're sitting there eating breakfast. The next couple of days after the discussion, I mean, he calmed down quite a bit and was a little more level-headed about it. But it was a bit surprising, and he was just awfully chatty. However, he also kind of tipped me off to some other interesting things about the culture of India that I really enjoyed. For example, I had this black bracelet that I was wearing. It was sort of a thing with my kids, but he and several of the other staff kept looking at it, sort of pointing at it, and then they would chat quietly among themselves. I didn't understand what was going on. So finally I walked in for breakfast one day, and this same guy, he comes over to me, and he's pointing at the bracelet, and he says, "Oh, what? That's good luck. Yeah, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?" I said, "Good. What are you talking about? Good luck." He says that black, in particular, is an extremely important thing in that culture, where wearing it in any way, shape, or form is actually a way to draw evil, draw bad spirits, draw negativity, and concentrate it into one thing where you're able to control it. So if you're wearing like this black bracelet, it's drawing all the bad away from you, like that's around you or whatever, and concentrating it so that it doesn't actually get to you.
So you're conquering bad.
Interfere with your life. You're redistributing.
You're conquering bad.
You're redistributing the evil.
Bad.
But in particular, he actually told me that babies, this is a big thing, that the really traditional people in India, if they have little babies, they will actually put black makeup all around their eyes to help ward off evil spirits. I've seen that too.
I have seen that in movies
That's
and in older. I've seen that in National Geographic.
I thought it was pretty
and I
amazing.
never had any idea what that was. I actually thought that maybe it was more of a religious type thing, as far as they were mimicking
It's definitely
priests, or they were mimicking, because I know that some of their priests and some of their holy people, I should say holy people, not priests, will stay up for very long periods of time.
Yes.
As part of a fasting ritual or whatever. And I always kind of took the two to mean one thing. I mean, you got serious bags on your eyes. You've been awake for like a month. I mean, come on.
Right.
So I never knew that. That's amazing.
I thought it was pretty impressive. So it was little things like that really, got me. Back to the Hindu gods and goddesses and all that stuff for a second. Another thing that really struck me was the Hindu Lord Ganesh. This is one that people from that culture or that part of the world are instantly going to recognize the name. Of course, those of us in the West maybe not as much. Although some stuff I've read has said that this Lord Ganesh has become kind of a popular character, someone to help watch over and ensure good luck and all that type of thing. But the thing that really got me, and I'm not going to go into the whole story about Ganesh and who this god is and how he came to be, especially the form that he has seen, but he is a man with an elephant's head.
Yeah, seen it.
Yeah, a lot of people have seen it.
I mean, I wouldn't have known the name, but I've seen that.
It's just one of these things that gets back to this whole therianthrope sort of discussion where you have these hybrid human-animal combinations. You know, we go back to the Graham Hancock thing again,
Right.
and many others, and it's just absolutely fascinating. And it was not some sort of bizarre creation. It was another very echoes of very not even Greek, but maybe even Egyptian mythology, where Ganesh is a person, and he's trying to protect his mother while she's taking a bath, and then the god Krishna comes through and wants to go and be with the mom, and doesn't know who the son is, so he cuts his head off. And when the mom figures out, you know, what's happened, she kind of freaks out, and Krishna, you know, kind of freaks out also, and wants to fix the problem and doesn't know what to do. There's an elephant nearby, so he chops the elephant's head off and attaches the elephant's head to the boy and brings him back to life. And the Lord Ganesh, who is, you know, full of good blessings and good luck and everything, was created by the Lord Krishna. It's one of these really interesting, you know, yeah, it's mythology, but where does mythology and in truth begin? We get into that whole discussion again. So,
but there's not a lot of religions. I mean, that's interesting that this is a religion that is based upon animism. I mean, I don't want to.
well,
I don't know if I
it
wanna
is.
say
See,
that,
and that goes to my final note. Let me jump right to my final note before you even
polytheistic,
comment.
and there's not a lot of polytheistic religions left.
That's also
so. Why
correct.
has it endured for so long?
That's also correct.
And it has how many adherents?
Well,
If, let's say 1 billion.
Well, again,
that's a lot.
one of the 5 major religions, sure. Yeah, 1 billion is probably actually a very fair estimate. And here's the other thing.
And
Let
now
me just throw
Hindus
this
and
in.
Sikhs. How are Sikhs related to Hindus?
I actually haven't got. I apologize as much as
I don't
worldly
know.
as I'm trying to do the show. Yeah, I know. I haven't gotten it quite down yet
I had
either.
thought maybe they were a fragment group, like related, like kind of Buddhist. Like
Well-
there's different types of Buddhists.
Yeah, exactly. Right, and you could get Muslims are the same way. Christians are the same way. Right,
Right, every
There's-
major
yeah,
religion
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But as a Christian, I know about all the different ones.
But the thing that I want to get to, just to interject it real quick, is the thing about Hinduism that caught me off guard was the Hindus that I spoke to wanted to impress upon me, maybe because they thought I was a Westerner and that it would be easier for me to understand, but when this happens to me over multiple trips to India, I don't think that that's what they're doing anymore. After a while, one of them is just talking, and he's being consistent enough that it makes sense. Krishna is their single deity. All the other gods, it is polytheistic by definition because they're referring to these others as gods, but they just don't elevate to the same thing. So you have Jesus, let's say in Christianity, you have Jesus and the Trinity and all that other stuff, but then you have all these others that have been, have ascended to heaven. Mary's up in heaven.
But that's only Catholicism.
Noah's up in heaven.
That's only
whoever else,
Catholicism.
Moses is up in
Yeah,
heaven.
but you don't pray to Noah for I don't know
Well,
a
look
dry
at-
day.
But look at
You don't-
Judaism with Elijah. Elijah is not a god of some type, but he's been assumed up into heaven, and he's up there.
Yeah, but I
And
think the semantics are important.
they are. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my
right,
point.
to me. I mean, I look at the only comparison I would have would be like Roman or Greek mythology
Yes.
and polytheism. I mean, you have Zeus.
Correct. Oh,
Zeus-
in Rome?
Yeah, Zeus was.
Yeah,
Greek,
Zeus
right?
was Greek, and Rome,
did I not know
Jupiter,
this?
Apollo. I don't know.
How do I not know this?
Gentlemen, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, wait.
Go ahead.
I can't even hear you. I was getting ready to go back
Speak
to you,
up,
Kurt.
boss.
We can't hear you.
The 20 minutes is up.
You think that we still have a couple cars that have indeed exceeded the speed limit, but we've yet to see the actual...
Hey,
If you're on speakerphone, get off it.
We can't hear you. If you're on speakerphone, you need to shut it off.
Okay, well, then I think I am on speakerphone.
Nice. I was about to go back to Kirk as we were finishing that part
Tim,
up.
you got to get off speakerphone.
These guys are up at the top of
And
the
if
hill.
you guys need power, I have an extension cord, and I can hook you up with power for the phone.
Nice. Mr. Kirk, are you still there? He cannot hear us.
Gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yes, but you're super quiet now. We don't understand why that would be.
Okay, well, we're down to about 10 seconds here.
Ah.
We have not seen
Is that your
any
dog?
cars that have exceeded the speed limit. We have not seen the traffic light go off at all.
So nothing. All right.
After the first 20 minutes, we have nothing to report.
All right. All right. Well, we'll take a break here, and then we'll get back and we'll do Gabe's 20 minutes and see if he can pull the upset. This
why
might
are
be
you
golden
so
gold.
quiet?
Yeah, I don't understand why you're so quiet. You're gonna have to hang up and call us back on the hotline in a couple of minutes here. Okay.
All right, we will.
Very good. All right. For the listeners, in case you couldn't hear Kirk there, for some reason the volume on his phone completely died. I don't know what the heck that was all about.
I'm thinking maybe the power's low. That's why I'm
But
having a hard line.
Kirk has been shut out for his 20-minute segment, so it looks like it's basically golden goal if, he hung up.
If he either gets a honk, a flash, or flashed, he wins.
Yeah, I didn't understand what you meant by flashed. What do you mean? If somebody's, like, flashing their headlights at him? Oh, because they're standing out in the yard and somebody's just...
No, I mean that women have gone by on motorcycles before
that
with
kind of
men
flash. Sorry.
And involved me with looking at their parts. I mean, how do you say that?
Excellent.
I mean, they flashed me.
Excellent.
And it was disturbing because the first time I was just sitting there minding my own business on my patio,
I love
my
it.
porch, relaxing, and I looked over and I saw parts. There was no elephant head, but there were parts. I saw it. It was some crazy stuff.
Awesome. You're listening to the Time and Space Radio Show. My name is Mike Smith, and I'm sitting here with Executive Chef Mike Fay. We are hanging at the Shed in Damascus, Maryland.
Tim is very far away.
Tim is very far away.
Far away.
You can call us anytime at 757-544-9000 to try to get in touch with us, win a prize, jump into one of our games, whatever it is you want to do. You can find us on Facebook. You can check out Listener 22 on Facebook, or just look for Time and Space Radio Show. That is... Oh, you put your beer down too hard. That must be what it is. You slammed it on the floor, didn't you? Jolted my hard drive.
Jolt these.
Uh-oh. We're getting a call back.
Is that any better?
That is a lot better. So
Okay.
please just stand by.
All right.
That would be perfect. Mr. Kirk is back, and apparently we've got this recovered. In fact, Kirk, if you can still hear me, you might want to just hang up, and then we'll do a quick touch base between segments here to get Gabe's segment started. Why don't you give us a call back in like 10 minutes or something?
All right. You got it.
Cool. You can check us out on YouTube. All of our shows are available there, or most of them. We've got a couple that are archived. We actually had to move over to YouTube. It was kind of a long story. You probably heard it on one of the previous episodes. And you can find all of our shows there. UFO Writer 22. Mr. Fay, I'm going to get back to some of the Mumbai stuff there in just a few minutes. I have a really great How Do I Cook That coming up also. My visit to Elephanta Caves, Elephanta Island, which was just absolutely fantastic. India launched a new satellite. I wanted to talk about that for a couple of moments. And there was a UFO sighting in Hyderabad in western India while I was there that was very, very interesting, if only because of the mainstream media feed on what actually had happened. They tried to say they tried to give the weather balloon explanation. We're going to go into this in a minute. Yeah, I was really surprised at that. There was actually a government official, as well as countless people that had shot video and all this other stuff. They tried to say that it was a weather balloon, but there was just one small problem with that. The balloon that was being reported was the size of a cricket stadium.
Oops.
So that makes it a little difficult for
Maybe the cricket stadium was conquered.
be a balloon. Oh, by the Americans.
We conquered them.
See, I don't understand why I didn't think of that.
You got to think outside the box.
Gosh, I don't know why I don't come up with this stuff.
Conquered ease.
Has the U.S. conquered anybody?
Yeah.
I mean, the
I would say
American.
the
I'm not trying to
Mexicans-
sound so ignorant.
No, but I would
American
say the
Indians.
Mexicans in California and things like that would have an argument there.
Really?
Yeah, we conquered them.
But Mexico. But were the Mexicans?
Yeah, the Mexicans were there. The Mexicans were far up into California, Arizona, New Mexico. After the Mexican-American War, they basically left.
I'm not trying to sound ignorant. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not
Have they
looking at it in the
conquered
same
anyone
context.
and remained there in the modern era? No. Now, if you want to look at maybe we conquered people in a less conventional way,
Right.
like we conquered them with our culture,
Then I suppose.
we have.
Okay.
But it's not our fault that our culture is attractive to
Well,
people because it involves freedom.
As you pointed out earlier, though, we've never conquered India.
No.
This is timeandspace.us. My name is Mike Smith, and we'll be back with more
Most Americans don't even know what continent
on
India
the
is on.
show in just a few moments.
Seriously, do you really think do you really think that more than 20% of America even knows that India and Pakistan share a common border?
No.
Do you think they've ever heard of Kashmir?
No. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Do you even think that more than 10% of America has ever heard of a Hindu? I'm going with no. That's what I'm talking about.
have to